Hello, my friend, and welcome to your Reiki session. As always, this is based on one of your requests. So, thank you for letting me know down in the comments what kind of content you would like here, what kind of stuff you're moving through, so that I know what kind of sessions to create here. I'm going to start with a little bit of this frankincense. Essential oil. It has a jojoba carrier oil. Good. So I'm just starting by moving my hands through your energy body. That's usually how we start a Reiki session. Just kind of moving through, doing what I'm sure you've heard of is referred to as an energetic scan or an auric scan. Feeling pretty good. So, what I'm going to be focusing on for this session is supporting you during this season where maybe we're having to set firmer boundaries, or maybe we're having to kind of take a stand for what we need or what we want. But just generally, we're going to be kind of covering and supporting and activating this self-validation. So this will pair well with a lot of the sessions we've done recently. And hopefully, if you're watching this in real time, this will support you during the holiday season, or support you when having to maybe communicate your boundaries or set boundaries. Good. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of clearing. And I'm going to start with my selenite wands. Good. So as we're doing this initial cleansing here, maybe you can start to just slow your breathing a little bit. Slow your breathing. Slow your breathing. Good. Just slowing down your breathing Slowing down the breathing here and just trying to invite as relaxed and calm an energy here as possible. Okay? You're so tall. I guess I'm short. Short right now. Okay. Good. Actually, I'm going to use a different candle today. Hold on one sec. So, what does self-validation look like for you? What might that maybe look or feel like to be validated, not externally, but internally? To look to yourself for the validation that maybe you're seeking from others. How might that feel? And how might it feel for it to work? Because we can validate ourselves, right? But if we're not really connecting with these words or these feelings or the affirmations, then it can seem a little bit hollow maybe, or it's harder to believe and resonate with that. How might it feel to be able to validate yourself in a way that really fully resonates? That you fully believe these words, that you're able to boost yourself up, buoy yourself up when you're feeling bad or engaging in really negative self-talk or really listening to that inner critic. I mean, it might even feel like a superpower if you could be able to say, you know what, I don't believe this. I don't believe what that person said, or I don't believe this thought I'm having, or I'm not going to go down this thought spiral, this vortex of criticism of myself. Instead, I recognize that I'm not perfect, I'm flawed, but that just makes me human, and there are so many great things about me. Because there are so many great things about you. So how might that feel to be able to do that for yourself? You probably feel pretty empowering, right? So our objective today, our intention here, is really about moving towards that and engaging in a practice that will help us to really feel into the truth of those words. Hold on. There we go. Kept lighting it and it was lighting the sage. There. I'm not going crazy. Okay. So on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this Reiki session for supporting you while you begin the practice of self-validation. It's such an empowering, such an important practice. Now, if you'd like to specify this intention based on what you're moving through, if you'd like to clarify it or Maybe even set your own intention based on whatever it is that you happen to be moving through in your current time and space. Then feel free to use this flame to set that intention. And as long as it's in service of your own and everyone else's wisest selves, then I will honor that intention. See it through time and space to where and whenever it's applicable. Looks kind of funny in there. It's not the cutest candle right now, but that's okay. There we go. I'm gonna light a little bit of incense off of our candle to preserve that intention that we've set and to draw the sacred symbols and clearing and cleansing anything that's not in service of that intention. So I think before we get into validation, we really have to recognize what are the things that are kind of threatening your sense of value and self-worth, the things that you feel kind of that you have to validate or protect yourself from. And at this time of year, if you're watching this again in real time, it can be a real time of feeling so much pressure, so much external pressure to do certain things or be places or whatever. And it's really so important to be able to honestly vocalize those boundaries. If you're feeling like you can't do things or like you can't, it's really important for you to be able to share that truth in a way that feels good and authentic for you. That helps protect and preserve your energy, which is so important. I mean, truly, you can't show up for anybody. I'm gonna carry this little ashtray. Here we go. You can't show up for anybody if you're not caring for yourself. And sometimes we just don't have the space for it. So just recognizing that whatever you choose to do, if it's a holiday thing or any kind of boundaries that you need to set, if that's the case, then really trusting that you're doing what's right for you. Your body will tell you when something doesn't feel right. If you're starting to feel really anxious or stressed, or you're feeling really put upon or something like that, or when you think about doing something or meeting with someone or maybe going to someone's for the holidays and it feels really overwhelming and stressful, obviously unless things have already been arranged and you've already said yes and things like tickets have already been purchased or whatever, and then it's important to just say, hey, I honor myself here. Because if you go through with something that you don't want to, or you feel like it's not your choice, it's someone else's choice, you're going to bring resentment into the space, and we just don't really want to have that. We want to be able to have all of our interactions to the best of our ability, be loving and compassionate and all of that. So doing our best here to just recognize when we can't, when we maybe sort of have to, whether that's plans have already been made or whatever it might be. There are always circumstances, right? But just recognizing that you do have a choice. Sometimes we forget our own agency in these times. So just remembering that. And also just recognizing if this isn't about the holiday season or setting boundaries for you, just recognizing your triggers when it comes to this lack of self-worth or this lack of validation, or when you're really searching for external validation. Just try to be really aware of what's triggering that. Is it someone who you talk to who just makes you feel kind of bad about yourself? And if so, it might be important to kind of reevaluate your relationship with them. And there's so much guilt and so much shame around doing this, around reevaluating the people in our lives. But if we don't do that, that is just inviting stagnancy, resentment, so much built up energy that's just not going to serve you. And again, we all have situations and circumstances. All of us have situations and circumstances. But it's just really important for you to listen to yourself here. Really listen to your body. What does your body tell you about the choices that you're making in your life? And just to know that there's always a different option, even though it might not feel like it. I think almost 100% of the time there's another option. We just have to be able to step away a little bit to be able to see it. So once we recognize our triggers, once we recognize the things that we maybe feel really disempowered by, then we have to recognize the way in which we receive validation. So it's a lot of just soul searching here, just trying to figure this space out, how you respond, and really honoring that. So often we ignore what's going on inside. And I hope if you've been here for any amount of time on this channel, I hope you recognize that that's all I want from you. Is just to pay attention to yourself. Looking inward is so important and so undervalued these days. Good. You move through with a little bit of Palo Santo now. Again, doing a little bit of further clearing here. Oh, I hope I didn't get ash on my nose. If you are interested in getting a Christmas gift for somebody, my shop is open, so feel free to go and check it out. Still have crystal bundles and some boxes, I believe, left, but not that many. But it's been really fun creating those. So just starting at the crown and doing a bit of clearing. So recognizing ways that we can really fill our own cup and satisfy that validation that we, all human beings need validation, right? To some extent or another. So just recognizing, what do you feel most empowered by in terms of validation? And then really start to get creative here and start to think of different ways that you can satisfy that for yourself. If you're familiar with love languages, words of affirmation is one of them. There are also, gifts, acts of service. There are quality time. Quality time is mine. But you can, did I miss one? Affirmation, gifts, quality time, acts of service. There are 5. What's the 5th one? Words of affirmation. Gifts and... can't remember. But regardless, I'm sure one of you will share in the comments. But The way that you can start engaging in this is to recognize how you like to be validated and then just try it out. If you're not positive, then I would suggest just trying all of these different things, but don't do them all at once, because that might get overwhelming. So maybe try just for this week doing something that's an act of service for yourself. You could, do the dishes the night before so that when you wake up, the dishes are clean, shine and polish your sink, clear it all the way out. So in the morning you think, oh wow, I took care of myself last night. Or maybe you could get yourself a little gift. Maybe get yourself something small, but something special for you that you wouldn't typically get yourself. Like a really nice pair of socks or something. I suppose the holiday season isn't the best time for that because you may be getting gifts, but just try something, a little something for yourself to just brighten your day. And then quality time, maybe read a book. Read a book by yourself. Do some journaling. Maybe take yourself on a really beautiful walk. Or call a friend and see them. That self-validation is also about how you can help yourself. And so reaching out to others can be part of that. Reaching out and saying, I would like some help here. I would like some time with you. I need some validation. There's nothing wrong with saying that to a friend. Hey, I'm feeling a little down. Can I call you up just for a boost? Can you validate me a little bit? And then words of affirmation, this is just a little bit of lavender. So nice and calming and soothing. With words of affirmation, you can really connect with those things that you would most like to hear. I mean, you're really the one that can know what it is that you most want to hear in order to be validated. So relying on others for it, while it's helpful for a balance to receive validation from others, loving, kind words from others, it's so important to be able to say this to ourselves, be able to really support ourselves with that. And you're the one who knows what's going to be the most impactful for you to hear. Just recognizing that just because you're saying it to yourself, it doesn't mean it's a lie or not true. It's just a different source of that information. Hearing it from yourself versus hearing it from others. It's almost out. So doing your best to just really deeply connect with what it is that you want to hear. And then write a little note to yourself. One thing that I like to do, it would combine two of these, is to buy myself a little gift if I'm feeling down. And then in the note, usually they'll give you, I get a lot of stuff off of Etsy, and they give you an option to kind of leave a little note and make it a gift. And just write a little note to myself that says something really empowering, something that I would love to hear. And then usually I'll forget about it, and then I get it in the mail. And it's such a boost, it really buoys me up. So that's definitely a suggestion if you're open to it. I'd like to use these two stones here. This one is for boundaries, and this one I want to use for self-compassion. So combining these two and really creating an empowered, strong, activated, and balanced solar plexus and heart space, just to really balance these chakras And while you're validating yourself, to really believe these words and really give yourself that kind of compassion that you deserve. And just know that your boundaries are worth upholding. They so are. So I'm just moving these through your energy fields. This is a septarian. It's a great stone for all kinds of things, but I love using it for boundaries. And then rhodonite. I'm going to place this rhodonite into your left hand here, and I'm going to place this septarian into your right. So just very gently there, like that. Allowing this energy to just swirl and swim all around you. Good, 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 good. I'd love to hear how you handle the holiday season, if there's a way that you like to just kind of cope or manage, especially if you're feeling a sense of obligation and it's the first time maybe you're setting a boundary or saying that you're not going to do that thing. How do you cope with those feelings? I think that could be really helpful for you to share down below. I think it could be really empowering for you to just support each other at this time. And I know you're so good at that. So just supporting each other in the comments. I'm going to use this owl rattle just to shake up the energy, really thicken your aura, help you feel nice and buoyant and supported here. Okay. I'm going to place this soda light right on your throat, just to allow this energy to float in. The throat chakra can be so tight and tense when we're blocking that space of communicating our boundaries or really expressing ourselves, or maybe we feel a block when it comes to expressing that self-validation. So just really activating that space so there's a freeness here, an openness, and also a freedom to communicate what you need to communicate your truth openly, honestly. Good. I'm going to place my hands on your solar plexus here. Just above your belly button, just placing my hands here on your physical body, sending this beautiful, empowered energy into this space, helping you to just trust yourself, helping you to just really believe this validation, because you're so important, you're so valuable, your needs deserve to be met, your inner life is so important. It's just really important. It's important to recognize what's going on here. You'll never be truly happy or joyful or well if you're not connected to what's here. Good. So I hope you're feeling 10% better than you were at the start of this session. Just know that I'm sending you so much love, so much support, and hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or your night. You are divine, you are connected, you are expressive, you are loved, you are strong, you are creative and emotionally balanced, you are safe. You're safe, you've got this. You can stay here with the stones in your hand and the stones out your throat. Very gentle, very soothing. You can stay as long as you'd like. Okay? Alright. And if you are going to someone's for the holidays and you're looking for a little gift, my shop is still open, so I will leave that linked down below for you to check out. Okay? And until we meet again, as always, be well. I love this sound. Anything like this kind of sounds like a kitten to me. Like a kitten purring. And just doing a little bit of balancing and aligning. But how would you suggest that a person achieve the ability to feel that comfortable with people? Not have that fear or apprehension of being disliked or judged by other people? That always happens when I'm trying to do it like up here. And just repeat the mantra. I release. I am relaxed. I am ready to receive. Amethyst is a really great spiritually aligned stone. It can help with clarity, mental fog, really helps us see soberly. So I'd love to know if you're open to sharing. I can ask here and you can share it down in the comments. Can you come up on the pillow? She just wants cuddles. Come on.